Hello, I am Felipa. This is day 5 of 365 of reading the Bible one day at a time for the year. And so today I wanted to show you what I read. So day 5 starts here, chapter 12. God calls Abram, blesses him with a promise of Christ. And then we have Abram is driven by famine into Egypt. Abram and Lot return out of Egypt and agree to separate. Lot goes to Sodom. God renews the promise to Abram. The battle of 4 kings against 5. And we end up here, chapter 14, verse 24. And so my thoughts today are on this little sticky note. And the first thought I had was that right here it says, "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing." And so the first thing I noted is that Abram is favored, and he's singled out by God, but it doesn't say why. And so I'm guessing it's because Abram had showed some good behavior and, had followed in the path of God. And so I think that that's why it indicates that he was favored. Then we go on to the next little section. And in chapter 12, verse 8, it says, "And there he builded an altar unto the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord." So that's interesting because Abram builds an altar. So this is the first time that an altar is mentioned. And I'm wondering, did God ask this specifically, which it doesn't say in here? Or is this Abram deciding on his own because he is trying to show gratitude for God leading him and bestowing blessings upon him? Then we continue on, and Abram says to his wife Sarai that he knows that she, for lack of better words, is good looking and favorable, and that somebody will likely take her. And he says, "Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee," saying that he's okay when the time comes to pass. The Egyptians will say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. And then she's taken by the Pharaoh, but it's interesting because at the end of it, God curses and plagues Pharaoh's house because he took Sarai. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou that she is my sister?" And I think the reason behind this, and I wrote this down, is that I believe in a way this is Abram calling Sarai his sister is because we're all children of God. And then we see this repeat again later on in chapter 14, verse 12 and 14, where Lot, Abram's brother's son, gets taken, and Abram goes to get him, and he says, "And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his own house, 318, and pursued them on to Dan." So they're saying that that Lot is Abram's brother's son, which would make him his nephew. But here it says when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive. So the fact that he's calling his wife his sister and his nephew his brother leads me to believe that he is just recognizing that we are all children of God. And then the last part up here, which is very interesting, chapter 14, verses 21 to 23. "And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, Give me the persons and take the goods to thyself. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up mine hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich." And so this is interesting because the king of Sodom says, "Give me all the people and you take the goods." And Abram says, "I do not take anything unless the Lord gives it to me." And so that is very interesting because he's saying that he is in a sense like rich because God has blessed him with all these things rather than Abram taking them for himself. So these are the reflections that I've had today. Tomorrow is day 6 of 365, and it'll be starting with chapter 15, God encourages Abram. So I will be back. See you then.